and we are here right now with Alison Black. She is the liaison between Rainey Institute and Case Elementary School, and she's going to tell us all about her program. What we like to do at each of our programs, Wake Up and Live with the Arts, is to take a few moments to showcase our host and our sponsor as to what's going on with their organization, because they have lots of programs and community activities. And when we're at Karamu, we'll talk about what's going on at Karamu too. But meantime, let's talk with Alison for a moment or two about what you do here at Rainey in relationship to Case Elementary School.
Okay, so I was hired to be the site coordinator for Case School, and part of that was because the Cleveland Metropolitan School District wanted to make all of their investment schools wraparound strategy schools, and which means that they become community modeled schools and they start to reach out to the community and the community starts to partner with the school. So Rainey was picked as their lead agency, and Rainey then hired me to be the site coordinator. So I'm here at Rainey but full-time at the school. So I'm there 5 days a week bringing in resources and programs to help relieve any barriers that could stop a child from learning at the school. And so it's also important because Rainey is in the community, and so it brings a community member into the school at all times to start bridging the school and community together.
I see. And how did you get involved with this program? How did Rainey find you, or you find Rainey, or what? How did that work?
So Rainey found me. It's part of United Way and the school district, and a couple of different funders started this or helped to bring this initiative up and running. And so when Rainey was picked, they then posted the job. And I also had been an internship at Marion Sterling, which is also part of the wraparound strategies, and they're also part of that school. And they asked me to come, and they told me, hey, you should go interview for this position over at Rainey Institute to be a site coordinator at Case, because I had interned over at Marion Sterling. And so I came, I interviewed with Lee at Rainey. Lee thought, I was a pretty good candidate, and then I went and interviewed with the principal and some of the teachers over at Case, and then here I am.
Here you am.
Yep, here I am.
How long have you been here with this program?
4 months. So I started end of January.
So it's fairly new then still.
And there's about 17 of us, and some people had started, a couple site coordinators have been here in the Cleveland School District for a couple years, and then most of us started around December, January.
I see. Now, are you by happenstance an educator yourself, or what is your background?
I am not an educator, but we're all educators to a sense.
Yeah.
I have an undergraduate in business, and so I started out doing a year of service in Chicago in a boys' residential home, and I did that for 3 years, decided I really wanted my master's in social work, came over to Case Western Reserve University and went to the Mandel School of Applied Sciences for my master's, which is how I got connected over at Marion Sterling in this Cleveland School District, and I now have a master's in social work, and then started as a mental health therapist right after my master's, and then made this transition over.
Can you work with people like me? I need lots of mental health therapy.
I can work with children and adolescents is my big thing.
Well, I'm a big kid at heart. I still love Snoopy, and It's a Small World at Disney World.
Maybe.
So, maybe.
That wasn't my forte.
That wasn't your forte. Okay, well, we'll let you slide for now. Okay. Now, when over at Case, what exactly goes on at Case as it relates to the program, your program?
Okay, a lot is starting to happen. So the first part of when I was there was just building relationships and trying to figure out what the school has, what are the needs of the school, but what is the resources in the school and the community. And right now we just started an after-school program, and that's how we started to bring Rainey into Case. Is we got 3 teachers to come over to teach different lessons.
Such as?
So our after-school program has a dance, bucket drums, and then also there's a basketball component, but the person that is doing that, we were connected through by Rainey. And then we also have a violin teacher who comes in to teach violin to our 6th and 7th grade girls. There's about 5 in each grade.
Okay. So now, is that part of the El Sistema thing, or is that something completely different?
Completely different.
Okay.
So the person who's teaching the classes does El Sistema here, but this was just our way to say Rainey and Case have a relationship, and it's time to bridge them, and so she comes over there 1 day a week to do
Okay.
lessons for that group of girls, but they're not a part of El Sistema.
And so the Case Rainey Liaison program project, what is the vision for the program, the goals and objectives? What outcomes are you hoping to see at the end of this by the end of this school year with the program?
So by the end of the school year, the goal is just to have a relationship. So
Okay.
it was to start very slow and build relationships to make sure that people know what's happening with the school and the fact that the school is changing a little bit and that Rainey is now becoming a part of the school, and we want it to be very fluid. So at one point, we want people to say, I think Allison's with Rainey, but she also does a lot with the school, and the same with the school. I think that's part of Case, but it's also part of Rainey too.
A lot of collaboration, yes, and
Right.
interaction.
Yes.
Just a question, are these children at Case necessarily at risk, or is this just something to enhance their overall life more than just academics?
They would be considered an at-risk population. It is a Cleveland metropolitan school, and so it's a public school, and it's actually not, in the past, has not performed very well in their academics and on their state tests, which is how they got the investment label. So the district came out and said every year they're going to name a select group of schools as investment schools to really try to get these schools back on track and to get them
Up to par
improving.
and to move toward excellence in their academics, etc.
Right, and
Okay.
so that's how this wraparound strategy came, was it's being done all over the nation, and people are seeing that it's starting to work because when you start to bring in all the community resources and you put everything into the school building, you start to break down all the barriers that are happening that really stop a kid from learning, and as you put that in the school, you start to see that kids are now getting all their needs met, and a lot of times they're not getting their needs met because everything is so far, or their families can't get to it, or they just have not had access to it in the past. So one hope would be to have a clinic in the school, so a nurse practitioner would maybe be there a couple days a week to help with, if somebody's sick or they need certain medications, and that also helps with our attendance and improving the attendance of the school.
So when this program was designed, it sounds like it's got kind of a holistic approach in that it is addressing multiple things about the individual student, hopefully to improve and enhance whatever's going on with him or her academically, life lessons, and being exposed to the arts and aesthetics, which our schools are so sorely lacking in for the most part. Now, if a parent wants to find out more about your being a liaison between Rainey and Case, whether or not they qualify, we don't know, but if they want to find out more about the program and eligibility or whatever, how can they reach you?
So I can be reached by my phone number, which is 216-385-2192. Again, it's 216-385-2192, or they can email me at A as in apple, black like the color, at raineyinstitute.org.
And Rainey's phone number is 216-881-1886 in case you want to call Rainey directly. And I had met you through Lee in the first place because hopefully we at Wake Up and Live's Actors Studio may have some future involvement with Case. And our playwright is sitting out there. No, she is. Yes, she is. And she has written a play called Commemorative to honor four Cleveland Tuskegee Airmen. And so we are working very hard now in the pre-production stage to mount that play to be performed around Veterans Day. And it is a play that would, as a staged reading or a small performance, would travel where the Case students could see, if not the entire play, at least a good portion of it, so they could learn to appreciate what the Tuskegee Airmen were all about, and especially the fact that we're going to be talking about four local ones, and I'm sure there were others, and if you ask me to name them right now for any amount of money, I know one is Airman Jameson, one is Airman Thomas, and I unfortunately forget the others, but All but one have now passed since Vicki has started this project. But we still have one, and we hope to have him here when we get the play up and mounted and performed.
And I think that would be wonderful. Sometimes it can be very difficult to get programs in the school, and so
Yes.
this is one of those ways to start to say, oh, there's people there now that help bring those programs. So that's definitely
That would
something
be,
we can work on.
yes, absolutely
Kids will love it.
delightful. Yes, they will love it. We will love it as part of our community service aspect. So with that, we are going to shift gears on our Wake Up and Live with the Arts, our community service activities. Want to thank Alison and Lee for introducing us. We wish you lots of luck.
Thank you, and
hopefully
thank you.
we'll be seeing you soon.
Definitely. Thank you
Okay.
again.
You're welcome, and till next time, we'll see you soon. Hold on, don't go away.